against Nazis. I'm going on the record.
I never seen.
Gonna hop on.
Let's say anti.
Let's not close on that. Let's close on favorite Trek memory. Period.
First Trek memory.
Okay, first Trek memory.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll close with the beginning of Trek for each of our listeners or each of our panel members tonight.
Trek entire or Trek original?
Your first Trek memory period.
Just Trek period. Mine, and I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I didn't watch Star Trek growing up. I don't know if that makes it into every episode.
But I got it. That's my cool cred.
And I don't know if actually
unfrozen caveman lawyer.
Exactly, like
I don't understand.
Your Trek scares and
look, your United Starships are frightening to me. And I don't know if I've already mentioned this on the podcast, if I've already told this story, but growing up, I was maybe 6 or 7. We had a family friend living with us, and I just thought like he was the bee's knees. I thought he was really cool, and like I remember like one time he was like just like doing sit-ups in his room, like working out. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, sit-ups. And I'm like, I want to do them too. And so he had a Star Trek book. And what it was
like an episode guide?
Yeah, it was like an episode guide. It had like little, like it had like not even like brief synopsis. It had like almost like
detailed beat
like,
by beat.
Beat by beat. I mean, because there were only,
I think my dad has that.
There would only be like, it was only like, what's
Did it have like a little cardboard wheel on the cover?
I have no idea what it looks like.
I've got that one.
I have no idea what it looks like. I don't remember what it looks like. I just remember what was inside. And I was like, oh, what's this? He's like, oh, this is Star Trek. This is the best fucking TV show ever. Blah, 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 blah. And so I thought he was so cool. So I would read them. And then I would act out the episodes with like my G.I. Joes and like the action figures that I had, and be like, check this out, blah, blah, blah. And that's the only thing Trek related that I ever did or saw when I was a kid.
Okay, Rob,
that is so cute.
That is adorable. Rob, you go, and then we'll just go around the table. We'll take turns.
Am I doing best or first memory?
First.
I would say either one.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
But first, I can't remember the name of the episode. It was Next Gen. I was 9 or 10, and I had a 5-inch black and white TV in my bedroom.
Awesome.
I thought you were not going to say TV, but okay.
I had a 5-inch black cock in my room. It was awesome.
Oh, it was black. That's the best kind.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, and I caught a random episode, and I remember seeing it on TV, and like I was. Spoiler alert, I was a huge nerd then. And I remember even...
back then.
I was aware
People who are reading your biography are like, oh, fucking shit.
I was aware at the time there was a show called Star Trek that was a space thing, and I was already like... I knew a little about... I never touched a computer, but I read about them in books, so I could be ready. And I was really into like NASA and all that, and so I was like, oh, well, shit, this show's on. I have to watch this, because it's like, I have to.
Right.
And so I remember watching my first episode, and it was probably season 4, maybe 5 was on. And I remember just every week I caught it, and that was it. I watched it religiously until All Good Things, which, spoiler alert, was the
last episode of TNG.
Yeah. And that was my earliest, that's how I got hooked on it. And it's been a downhill spiral ever since. Best Star Trek memory...
Yeah,
help bring you to soon-to-be wife.
Right, yeah, I wouldn't be engaged to my fiancé if it wasn't for Star Trek.
And we're all very happy about it.
And OK Cupid.
And OK Cupid.
Star Trek in the Dark is brought to you by OK Cupid and Dr. Pepper 10.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
And but best memory is being a guest star right now on this podcast with all my close friends. Oh. This pandering brought to you by Rob Sanders.
Okay.
Tits McGee.
Well, thank you so much, Rob. Yeah,
thanks for having me. Seriously, if I can I've enjoyed this podcast so much, just hearing y'all's commentary as you started kind of from the beginning. It's been a treat every week to listen to it, aside from the weeks that I've missed because I'm an asshole.
Well, just catch up when you can.
But yeah, it's been really good. I think it's been a fantastic project.
Well, thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll be here for a long while yet.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. All right, Tits, what do you got?
All right, she got tits.
Yeah.
There's that.
But those don't translate to podcast.
Yeah. Well, it should. I guess maybe our grandmother, whenever she was getting stuff ready in the morning, like cooking bacon or whatever Southerners do, which is all she did. That's not all she
What's
did.
that?
All she did was cook bacon.
No, but it was a lot of what
Grandma
she did.
stopped cooking
a lot of
bacon.
A lot of eggs.
Lucky kids.
Everything. But whenever she was doing stuff in the morning, she would put on movie or something like that she could watch over and over again, like Yours, Mine, and Ours, or Howard's End, or something like that she could just watch over and over again. However, when she was not there and my mother was doing something along the lines of that same thing, she would put on Star Trek. And it was always Star Trek that she would put on. Wrath of Khan, something.
So the movies themselves, or just anything Trek related? I
think I remember the movies most.
Because I mean, at that point, like it would be easier to get a hold of the movies than it would be like the series, because this is before like really like.
That's true. I remember back in the age of VHS trying to find episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah, I remember.
And there would be like 3 random episodes like collected, and you're like,
exactly. That's how I saw the Gangster Planet episode as a kid.
Which I guess for the original series wouldn't really matter because there's like little to no continuity at all.
Right.
Yeah.
But, for something like Next Gen, you're like, oh, like, why does Data have forehead wrinkles in this one and this one he doesn't? I'm really obsessed with that topic.
Why does Spock have, like, devil eyebrows in this one?
Yeah. Exactly. Why do his ears point differently? His ears change quite a bit over the course of the series. Why is he more yellow this week? So that's your first? You're just kind of...
That is it. Do you have that? Do you have that?
Well,
we've got... have something similar?
Hang on.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come around.
I saw a fat dude at Star Trek convention once. He was the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. And I've been to several and always had a good time. But this guy was standing up, like in defiance of God. There's no way this guy could be a guy this size and sloppy. Like his gut was this close to the floor standing.
Shit,
I'm
he was
not
like
even exaggerating. It was like he had a little wheelchair, but he decided to stand at one moment. And it was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. And that is my favorite Star Trek.
Hey, Beth, do you want to circle back?
That is because Rob and I went to the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, and there was a guy wearing the most, his prosthetics and his costume. It was the best Klingon costume I had ever seen. And then he was on a rascal. You know, and that you saw so much of that at the there was like almost like a docking bay.
A lot of rascals.
At the Star Trek convention.
And that's so anti-Klingon. The Klingons put those people out.
They were eating the rocks.
I don't think he was that fat.
Maybe he had
there was a medical
somehow.
condition that I
like. What do you think is the correlation between that? Between
Star Trek,
between obesity and Star Trek,
well,
or even like sci-fi.
Because there was an elderly woman.
So you'll be,
because I'm so firm. There was an elderly woman that we saw at the Star Trek convention, and I think her daughter and her granddaughter made reference to we have taken our grandmother to several of these. And she was in a rascal, and we were in line to get our picture taken with LeVar Burton. And Everett, I remember we were in line, and they were like, "Hey, is there somewhere for my grandmother to come and sit while she waits in line?" And I don't know what happened. I don't know if everyone in line was just like, "You know what? Let her go." But that woman got to cut in line in front of everybody and get.
So you're saying it's a scam?
No,
they're scamming.
She was. I don't know if I failed to mention it. She was.
They're like she's gonna go any minute.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, she was that was kind of a big deal for at her age. Whenever Star Trek was first airing, that must have been a really big deal for her.
She's been in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
No, Mary still hasn't mentioned this was a black link.
I just feel
that's even better. Well, let me interject here for a second about the correlation between maybe physical deformity or not deformity, but disability,
and in the realm of sci-fi fantasy.
And I remember reading. See, my nerd. I was weaned on George Lucas sci-fi.
Oh,
so
you suckled upon the Lucas teeth.
Exactly. I remember I read a biography of Lucas when we were in high school, and there was a quote from somebody in the Star Wars fan club, because the book was sort of poking fun at them, but at the same time, it put in this quote, and it said, "It's a great way to fill a lonely life." And I think that's a That's an excellent way to put it because
Well, why not something else?
because it's a whole world you can escape to. It's a world that's accepting. It's a world that's full of adventure. There are lots of rules you have to learn and memorize, and that's what geekery is. It's getting deep into something.
Well, and something that appeals to me about Star Trek, and going back to kind of the criticism of the newer movie being more like the Star Wars prequels, maybe not quite in the same vein. Kirk is physical and there's plenty of fist fighting, but also Starfleet is very much a place where you succeed based on your own merit,
Exactly.
your kind of intelligence, your ability to do your job. I think it's kind of a place for people that aren't the jocks in their school to sympathize, see like, oh, I could do very well there, I can be valued. And
It's true. Original Kirk was kind of a nerd, actually. Like it's weird because they don't play him that way week to week. But when you hear about his Starfleet days and stuff, he was a nerd. He was a bookworm.
Right, all those people can go to conventions and things and be on the same level and have these friends they see when they go to the same convention.
And that's sort of how I'm feeling right now. I feel like we're sort of right now building this sort of Trek community within our
And that's
our group of
I
friends.
I hope you guys get to go to that Dallas convention because I guarantee
I'm
you're
going. I got my
I'll be
ticket.
there.
Oh, I guarantee you're going to see
I got my
some of the
ticket.
people that we
I'll be like,
see
you
at the
fat,
convention,
and you ugly,
like
Star Trek.
that one lady we saw at both, and was it Get a Life? Like we saw in the documentary
Are you
Get a
about the guy
Life.
who was the car tag Mr. Data?
Yeah, like there's this guy who wears this immaculate. He wore a different costume every day, and each costume
More
was
delicate than the
the
last.
best costume you had ever seen in your life. And he makes an appearance in that documentary. And then there was another guy who brought his dogs every day, and his dogs wore Starfleet uniforms. And
Like
so
three
that's a
poodles
thing.
or something.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 poodles wearing Starfleet uniforms.
Nice.
Like you just start to recognize these people and
Right.
see these people. And so that was what stuck out to me about going to the convention in Vegas and then going to the convention in Austin and seeing that lady with the Horta
The horse-
RC thing. Like,
It's amazing.
just
That's
RC
yeah, like,
Horta.
right. That's sort of how I felt at Comic-Con.
Like,
seeing
this is-
like these are my people.
yeah, like this is kind of a community. And
every
this
time
is
you
kind
say
of-
that, I get hungry for Taco Bell.
Horta.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
Taco Bueno.
hard H. It
Like,
brings
what-
up the
It's the-
salivary glands for
When
Mexico.
When was the last time you ate Taco Bell, Conan?
Never. I never eat at Taco Bell or Taco Bueno.
Was it?
It's been a
I think
while.
It's been
last
years for me.
I last ate at Taco Bell. I want to say it's been within
This
a
morning.
month.
Yeah, a couple months. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
You live in Texas and you still eat at Taco Bell?
He doesn't.
He doesn't?
He
If
doesn't.
you're doing-
Oklahoma at the moment.
If
Did
you're
you say
doing
you
fast
eat there
food and you have to do fast
Yeah,
food,
I
good
don't.
fast
I don't live in Austin though.
It's cheap and it's,
I live.
Yeah, you know,
I
if you're-
live
if you're
in.
food.
bored,
And
you
99
want something
cent bean
fast.
burrito. And
You also
Exactly.
have vegan.
Good, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanks. 6 tacos for $6. That's a great deal.
that's a great deal.
You can still get that in Austin. And
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
live
but
in
we're not talking
Austin.
about Austin.
And
We're talking
whenever I
about
try to go get a
DFW.
goddamn veggie burger, the goddamn food truck isn't there. It's not even there, but closed. It's just gone, just poof, like fucking Houdini.
If you
That's
go to
what
taco,
I really was looking
taco
for.
trucks are the bomb, but if you eat a
Yeah.
taco truck in Austin, it's like 15% chance you're eating
Hopefully
cat.
I didn't
Yeah,
sweat in it.
good chance.
Unfortunately.
Okay, let's get Conan's Trek memories.
All right, so
oh, you didn't get mine.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Mary Beth, you go.
Go ahead.
Right.
Talk too damn much, talking cat.
She's amazing.
I'm a good.
She is amazing.
She's a great talker.
My earliest Trek memory is from watching. Remember when we lived on Rock Bank? Spoiler alert, anyone. Tits McGee is my sister. We
This is
had
a
a
twist.
twist. Oh my god, none of us knew.
Swerve.
We rented at the time. Our family rented a duplex on Brockbank, and we had a den, and there was a TV in the den, and I remember watching the Corbin Might maneuver
Corbin.
that for my entire life I thought was the Corbin Knight maneuver, and I can
Learned you
remember
real quick on that
watching
one.
that in the den and being upset when the episode
That's a great
like
episode.
a
really
child
is.
like throwing a fit upset when the episode ended, and my mom said to me, all good things must come to an end. And that stuck with me for so long. And then when the
Holy shit,
the
you're about to
name
break up
of
with
the
Rob.
episode
all good things. This is our relationship.
And then when the name of
When it
the
wasn't even
final